Welcome back to the Rogue Wave podcast, the frequency for all things pop culture and the disruptors behind it. Check out Button Smash, the newest podcast to join the Rogue Matter Podcast Network. They stream live every Thursday at 9 p.m. Eastern on twitch.tv/Rio Rogue Matter. And we're going to have them on our show next week. We're going to do a little crossover because everyone loves a crossover. All right, Mandalorian introduces Star Wars: The Clone Wars hero. This is our Chapter 11 reaction. Chapter 11, the heiress saw Din Djarin and Baby Yoda travel to the oceanic planet alongside the Frog Lady, and they come into contact with Katie Sackhoff. This is spoilers, by the way, in case you haven't seen the episode yet. Reprising her role from the animated series is Bo-Katan of House... Oh, I'm not going to get this one right. Kryze? Is that right? Did I get that right, Hassan?
Yeah, sure.
Kryze? Kryze?
Yes.
Is it? Am I even like remotely close? Kryze?
I think you're in the ballpark.
Okay,
you're
good.
in the ballpark.
I feel good about that. She enters the series in typical Star Wars fashion in the middle of a battle. Bo-Katan and two other Mandalorians, one of whom is played by WWE's Sasha Banks, saved Din Djarin from Quarren pirates, while Banks' character rescued Baby Yoda from the jaws of a vicious sea monster. She goes on to mention that she knows where the other Jedi is that he's been searching for. It's Ahsoka, and we also get to see Moff Gideon, and she's trying to retrieve the Darksaber from him. So a lot of cool little things sprinkled about. What was your immediate reaction from the episode? And you're a big I'm going to lean on you, man. I never was big into Clone Wars, so I got to really fall on you. What was your reaction to seeing this character in live, stunning action?
I thought it was good. I mean, sometimes it could be a disaster. So, there's people, I'm a little worried about Ahsoka because she's such an iconic character, and, bringing her to live action it's going to be a tall order, you know, but hopefully, we'll see. Hopefully they'll do a good job. But, I thought she was, look, they based the animated model off of Katie Sackhoff, off of the woman who did the voice. So it only stands to reason she was, that she would play the character. It kind of worked. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I know some people were kind of griping about the breastplates on some of the Mandalorian armor, and people have lots of different nitpicky things.
Yeah, but you shouldn't listen to idiots. So I mean, you're gonna if you're gonna watch an entire multi-million-dollar episode and you're gonna complain about the breastplates of armor, then you're already reaching. Yeah.
No, I'm with you. I think that was a little. My one gripe on the episode was the scene where Baby Yoda gets knocked in. I mean, it was one of those things where you're just like, oh my god, come on, Mandalorian, how you falling for this? You one of those oh, you should really get up close. You should really bring the little one. You really should go hit because I'm going to knock him in there. And it's that was my only, come on, Mando, you're supposed to be better than that. At least it's been set up that he's supposed to be better than that.
That's fair. But I mean, even Clint Eastwood walked into a trap every now and then.
I guess so.
I'm not exonerating it. I mean, it's a fair criticism, but
And then how was he dives in after Baby Yoda, and it's just one of those things. And he can't breathe underwater.
He dives in after the child.
Sorry, dives in after the child, and he knows he can't. It was one of those. I know it was one of those well, shoot, I got to go save him kind of moments. But I don't know. It's one of those. It definitely was a weaker. Was the weakest.
It was a weak moment for the character because he couldn't. He dives in and he gets stuck, and then he's trying to get out. Yeah. Even though instead of saving the baby, he's trying to get out. And then people with the exact same armor and equipment show up.
Yes.
And they're able to handle the situation, way better. So it was a little weird.
Yes.
It was a contrived scene.
Yes. That's a good word for it, actually. That's exactly a good word for it. My other, I don't want to call it a gripe because it's not a gripe. I'm not upset or angry about it. But this, I think you've when we've talked about it, this seems to be a theme throughout. Many people. I feel like we're still just kind of touring the Star Wars universe in a way. I do agree. You've said this numerous times where we want to see how the season ultimately pans out. These chapters are necessary in the buildup. I mean, I could look at Game of Thrones as an example. I think the first 5 episodes of Game of Thrones, it's just all set up, right? I mean, it's tough. So we won't make final judgment on where the season is going. However, up until this point right now, I think we're simply hanging in there because it's a tour of things we find common in the Star Wars universe, rather than the actual storyline itself is, I need to go find some Jedi. So I'm going to go here and I'm going to go here and, something else happens and blah, blah, blah. Do you know what I mean? Like, it can grow a little tiresome after a few episodes.
Yeah. Like I said, I didn't say last week that they got to get on with it, but I said we're all gonna start getting tired of his wandering after a while without like getting to a point of like telling us what the stakes are.
Yeah.
Because there's still very little we know even about Mando. So, and I mean, a lot of most of the success of Mandalorian has been based on the child, the baby Yoda, the revelation of the child.
Yeah.
And so, we're, I don't know, how was this episode 11? This is 12, right? Yeah,
no,
this is episode 11. We're 11 episodes in, and we don't even know why the Empire wanted him. We still don't know that. So, I mean, they're not in danger yet.
No.
I don't think.
I agree.
By any stretch of the imagination. But they're closing into danger territory of becoming monotonous.
We will be halfway through the season come next episode. We will be introduced to one more key player next week, or at least it's set up that we will be. We still have not been...
it would be episode 5 because that's a Dave Filoni directed episode, and
Ahsoka
Tano is Dave. So she might show up at the end,
correct,
of episode 4. But I think whatever we're going to see with her, the bulk of it's probably going to be in episode 5. That's what the scuttlebutt is. I don't know for certain.
Yeah, I think you kind of sum it up in a very good way, right? Like we're not in danger yet, but again, the only thing kind of keeping us kind of afloat is the promise of and the revelation of things that we are already familiar with.
I wouldn't say that. Me personally, I wouldn't agree with that personally. I'm involved because it's good, and I'm watching it because it's entertainment.
Yeah.
I'm talking about this other hysteria of, continued buzz and trending and, all that stuff, which everybody says, when everybody calls something dangerous is when the hive mind decides to start turning on it and start to call it monotonous. And sometimes that can happen to something even when it's not warranted or justified.
Yeah.
So they're in danger of becoming passé, which some people are already accusing it of. Like some people are already saying it's not getting the same kind of buzz that the first season got, and therefore they're already about to jump the shark or whatever. I don't necessarily agree with that, but then again, if everybody on social media has decided tomorrow that Mandalorian is weak and no one's going to watch it anymore, I would still be watching it. I wouldn't give a damn what the hive mind said. So I'm not a good gauge on that. I would watch it until it was bad.
I would sit there and say, yes, it's still highly enjoyable. I think it's just as enjoyable as it was last year. It's not a new thing anymore, though. I think that goes a long way to your point.
How long can something be a new thing?
Right. That it does have to start digging us a little deeper, like dig into us a little deeper for me to, I
think it needs to start laying roots, because what's going to happen is, you're going to get tired of the Mandalorian, and you're not going to get tired of him like as a character or be interested. But I mean, basically the way his character is that he doesn't reveal information. He doesn't offer information up. He doesn't offer his inner thoughts up or anything like that. So when you have a stoic character like that, you're going to need other characters to be able to bring certain aspects of his personality out for us to all know. And then also allow him to stay aloof so that he could keep his character. And with the baby not talking at all, right?
Yeah.
Everybody he runs into is pretty much the same conversation. Either how you're a Mandalorian. I haven't seen too many Mandalorians. It's, blah blah blah. So after a while, you're not getting a lot of him. You're not getting a lot of anybody else. So the show is not going to have a lot of, it's not growing legs to be able to take it in other directions. And that's potentially, from a from a storytelling aspect, that is a potential dead end. So you got to be careful with that.
Yeah.
Because I mean, every Clint Eastwood went to a different town, every one of his Nameless Stranger movies. And it was, but I mean, it was, first of all, there were a couple of years in between each of them. The set pieces were enormous. We had 2.5 hours to hang out with him as opposed to an hour a week for 8 weeks. And then we're out. So I'm just saying, whatever ground they're laying, they need to start laying that ground now.
Yeah. What do you guys think? Did you like Bo-Katan? Are you excited? Are you still, just as excited as you were during season 1? Comment in the Facebook feed. We will reply back to you when we come back. Actress Kelsey Edwards from the new movie, The Wolf in Snow's Hollow, when we return. Previously